Hello, and welcome to another episode of The End of the Search. And a while ago, I posted a video. It's called "To Be Happy, You Must Be on Your Own." And somebody made a comment, and I just would like to elaborate a little bit on this to see if maybe it could help. And the comment was, "Very helpful, this video. It is very simple indeed. The trick for me is to catch myself a million times during the day when I am lost in thoughts and stories." Okay, technically speaking, there's no need to catch myself a million times because it's kind of like the mind, you see, playing a game with itself. Right now, you cannot negate the fact that you are. This is pure beingness. This is what is. You cannot say you are not, because you are. Are you aware? Now, I'm not talking to you, the person. Keep that in mind. I'm just simply throwing this out there. I'm simply saying awareness is what is. So, are you aware? Yes. Because awareness is what is. Now, the challenge is that in awareness, which is all there is, always, it can never not be, a thought appears then. For example, if I ask you, are you aware? You are already awareness. And yet, a thought appears in you that says, I am aware. You see? In other words, awareness is prior thoughts. Okay? So, you are always, and in this you, that is also me and everything, because it's all there is, the thought of a you as a person appears, and that's the one that may suggest or say that I have to catch myself a million times. You see, this is when it's very tricky here, because a lot of times there's a preconceived idea that if I am conscious, aware, whatever, I will have no thoughts, there will be no pain, everything is going to be blissful or so. But actually the simplicity of this is that I always am, and in that I am is where everything seems to appear and disappear, like the fourth book of the series, you know. I am, in which everything seems to appear and disappear. But the I am is non-conceptual, you see. You cannot say to anyone I am, because it makes no sense, because there's still a you who thinks that he's talking to somebody else. The I am is the direct experience, which is what's right now. Right now, can you say you're not? Can you say you don't exist? But you see, the mind is translating this and it's saying, oh, I exist. No, that's not what I'm pointing to. That's the mind still trying to say that, trying to answer the question. What I'm pointing to is that existence is all there is. And you are existence until the thought I, individual, appears, and even that thought is given a name. In my case, is given a name called Nick. I don't know what your name may be. But you see, you confuse the word, the name, with existence. And then you take yourself to be the name, and then you tell yourself to be the sensations that you say, these are my sensations, and this is who I am, whatever. But sensations appear and disappear. So if you were the sensations, when they go, you should go too. But you're aware of the sensations, aren't you? You're aware before they show up, and you're aware while they are, and you are also aware as they leave. You are aware of the thoughts before they show up, while they still around, and as they leave. But if you try to spend a lot of time realizing, oh my God, I'm caught up into this thought, let me go back again to presence awareness, you know, you still identify with a sense of identity with someone who's now becoming conscious of it. See, and these videos are not pointing to that individual, they're pointing to the fact that I am. You see? It's just the preconceived ideas that the mind used to have about this. That's why the journey, the seeker begins. The seeker wants to eventually become, but become what? What kind of concept the mind have conjured up? If you do this, eventually you will become what? See, you already are. Right now you are. You always are. You can never not be. And in that amness or whatever isness, yeah, thoughts will appear, and even the thought of the one that says, I find myself caught a million times. You see? But right now, can you say you're not? Can you say you don't exist? Can you negate the fact that awareness is what is? Aren't you aware? Again, if you still think that I'm asking you the question, this is where it gets tricky, because I'm not asking you if you're aware. I'm pointing to the fact that you are aware. You can never not be aware. For you to give me any answer, whatever the case may be, there have to be awareness first, because in awareness is where then everything else seems to happen. So any answer that you can give me, in order for that happen to be there, is because awareness was before. You see? And that's where this is pointing to. It's pointing to the obviousness of what is. And the only thing that gets in the way, thoughts. In reality, thoughts are just thoughts. What gets in the way is identification with thoughts, because we identify with the first thought that this is the one that's been overlooked. The thought, I am this individual, this is who I am. And these thoughts happen to me, and I have to find myself doing something to liberate myself. Or I find myself, choosing 1,000 times during the day. See, that's the thought underneath that hasn't been investigated. But right now, you cannot say that you are not. You are. This is all this is pointing to. And then, of course, the questions, but how do I function in this world? Well, again, this is only when you believe that you're this separate character. The truth is that when you know that you are, because this is what is, then you see life unfolding. And you will move through life according to, I don't know, to whatever you're supposed to do, your conditioning, or I don't know. See, life is living you. You're not living life. You see? And let's put it to the test right now. Are you breathing? Are you choosing to breathe, is what I mean. Are you making the choice of controlling anything that is happening in your organism? Or, here's another question. Can you tell me what is the next thought you're going to have? Can you tell me what is the next sensation you're going to have? See? You cannot tell me. They just appear. And as they appear, the same way that sensations appear and thoughts appear, well, also will appear the motivation to move or to do something if something needs to be done regarding to whatever has to be addressed. So you see? I need not to be concerned how to control life at all, because life is just, the only thing I need to be aware of is that I am. That's the freedom we're pointing to. Once that is clearly seen, then you're free. No suffering. Pain, yeah, there'll be pain and pleasure, but there's no suffering. Where is concern, they go out by the wayside. Because these are thoughts that are seen. You are the ever-presence, you are what is. And in the what-isness, or that what-isness, are there any worries in there? Can the space be concerned about anything? You see? The space simply is. Or space-like, if you want to use that term. Awareness is what is. And you are, always. So notice where this is pointing to. Right now, if you don't identify with any thoughts, I didn't say there will not be there. I said if you don't identify with any thoughts, what is left? And if you answer the question, once again, you went back to the mind. Because I'm pointing to the experience, you see? Direct experiencing, this is it. And in this direct experiencing, yeah, of course, all sorts of everything is going to seem to appear in it. But you're not the appearance, you are in which the appearance seems to manifest. This cannot be trapped by the mind. The conceptual mind cannot understand this. I'm not asking you to try to use the mind to get to the space. I'm pointing to what is obvious, but the mind is overlooking it. The mind overlooks it with the me that says, okay, I want to see if I can feel that I am. No, just you are. When you go to bed at night and you rest and sleep, or when you're, let's say, in anesthesia or something like that, the mind, the conceptual mind is not there. And yet you still are. You see? You still are before the mind, while the mind, and after the mind. Because the mind, again, is the part, is the sense of identity. Without the mind, there's no identity. All that there is what is. And the mind is the thought in all that there is. I'm not talking about anything that happens in here. I'm just talking about mind, consciousness in that sense. You simply are. And that which you are does not need to catch it himself or herself 1,000 times in stories. Yeah, at the level we are conceptually, it may appear that I find myself caught up in a story, but I mean, because now you know that you are, you can see how the mind naturally goes back again to the resting in what I am. You see? And this is what we're pointing to. We're not trying to control the mind. We're just simply looking at the obvious. Right now, can you say that you're not? This is the obvious. When that is clearly seen, then the idea of me trying to catch myself 1,000 or 1,000,000 times completely falls by the wayside. Because I know that I am, and the life unfolds, and in the unfolding of life, there's going to be thoughts, there are going to be sensations, there are going to be all sorts of projections. But again, I am, and this is the point here. Now, remember, being conscious of this and at the same time desiring the things from the world is a little tricky. I'm not saying that desires cannot be there. For example, I see myself when I find the inspiration to write a song, or yesterday I was mixing one of the songs that I'm translating to English. If you go to my website, themusicoflove.com, you can listen to the song that I have already recorded. The Spanish too, but in the homepage you'll see the English ones that I've been translating it, and I have another one here. And I see all these things happening, and yet while it's happening, there's not an idea of why it's happening or how long will it take, or no, none of that. I just see life unfolding like right now. You see right now life unfolding, have me doing this video. And that's okay. It's just what happens. And it's happening in the I am, you see, which is the invitation. And that's it, you see, end of story. So this is where this is pointing to. So remember, you are right now. You cannot say you're not. This is it. This is life. This is life as it is. You are, and whatever happens, happens. It's not happening by you, it's happening through you. And as long as you never lose sight of the fact that you are, you're free. And that's what these videos are pointing to. So anyway, I hope this serves, and as always, may peace permeate the mind so that love can be extended.